All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv Fluff 2 edition. I'm with 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀, Epic Times reporter for, I guess, entertainment, right? Is that strictly just what you cover on Epic Times?
Entertainment and some politics and breaking news occasionally.
Wow. So I'm privileged to have you on. Thank you, 𝗬𝗻. Today, folks, we're going to talk about a few things. Uh, First off, the blockout 2024, where Gen Z is blocking celebrities. And Diddy's son, what's Diddy's son's name?
Christian King Combs.
Christian King Combs.
King.
Starting beef with 50 Cent, saying pick a lane, and RFK suing Meta for that interference for what's
Right.
coming up in November. So this is some good stuff here. What's your thoughts? First of all, let's talk about the blockout. Let's just start with the blockout. What's your thoughts on this? I'm going to pull up an article, and let's dive into this.
Yeah, the Blockout 2024, that's what they're calling it. It was this movement started by Gen Z TikTokers. What happened was there was this influencer, right? She was at the Met Gala and she was in this, gown, and she said, like, used a Marie Antoinette thing, let them eat cake, and was doing this like sound thing. I pulled away, and people had a big problem with it. So at first people were saying, like, this is so disgusting. It's very much like a French Revolution, like Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. And people are down the street who can't even afford groceries. There's tents. These tickets are $75,000 each to attend the Met Gala. No one even knows.
75,000.
Yeah, 2 years ago it was 50,000, and now it's up to 75,000 a ticket for the
Inflation.
celebrities and inflation. And so what happens is a lot of times, either the celebrities, when they get invited and then they have to pay because they have it as a fundraiser for the Met Arts.
Wow. So it's almost like you're invited, and it's kind of like extortion at a level. Like if you really want to be who you think you are, you better pay up.
Right.
They're messing
And
with their
so it,
egos.
it is, because it's like, well, we're inviting you to this very exclusive thing. Nobody even knows what goes on inside. We might have a little clip of the performance, but other than that, all you're going to get to see is the red carpet, right? And it's very exclusive. Only the, people, but a few years ago, they started inviting influencers and things like that. And so what happened was, either the celebrities, once they get invited, are paying themselves, or the designers will say, I want to have these two people at my table, and the designers will pay for them. So it's either the celebrities are paying or their designers are paying. Sometimes their team is like, hey, we got an invite, this is the best, press event ever, other than like the Oscars. So, you got to go. And then they get to wear these ridiculous outfits. So people were saying this is crazy because most of America can't even afford groceries. People can't, we're living hand to mouth. There's literally just tents down the street. Yeah. And then it
This
kind of
really does
started.
remind me of like the Roman days.
Yeah.
Like we're back at it. Bread and circus, and the celebrities are like, and the elites are just running amok and just looking down on the peasants, right? Like, I mean, I hope this takes hold. It says here's why tons of people
It
are blocking
has.
Taylor Swift,
But they
Beyonce.
also, yeah, they also it changed though. They co-opted it, and now they're saying anybody who's not speaking out or who didn't speak out at the Met Gala about Palestine, they're all getting blocked. So any celebrity who's either extraordinarily wealthy and went to the Met Gala or has not spoken out about pro-Palestine things, they're blocking them all. And like, I think Kim Kardashian lost like 3 million followers within like 2 hours.
Are you
It's
serious? So this is making a dent. I'll just say a dent
Yeah,
for now. I mean,
it's a
Taylor
bit.
Swift, Beyonce, other massive celebrities across social media as part of the Blockout 2024 movement, and it's against those that aren't speaking out against Israel Palestine. Correct?
So it started off as like, wow, this is a disgusting display of wealth. And then someone went, well, how about we just start blocking, all the elitists, but also we have to block anybody who hasn't spoken out about Palestine. So to me, that feels like it's a hostage situation in a way. And I hate using that word because we do have hostages in Israel, but you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of saying, hey, if you don't say what we want you to say, if you don't speak up and say what our viewpoint is, as crazy as it might sound, well, we're all going to, they started blocking the celebrities, blocking all of their businesses. They've started loading up, like going to the Kim Kardashian's online shops, loading up their carts, and right before they're about to check out with their credit card, they block them. So
Wow.
that they, yeah, and so those
Look, I'm all for this if
it's
they're just, if they're not blocking like the freeways and roads and stuff like that, blocking
yeah,
ambulances or something like that. I'm all for it. I mean, it's just when it starts when you impede people's travel and do stuff like that, I'm not about that. But so they're man, it just reminds me of those posts that said, these people won't be able to walk the streets. And
yeah,
I keep going back to that. Additionally, pictures of the fashion's biggest nights flooded social media at the same time as images as Israel's attack on Palestine city, Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip. Wow. I don't even know what that word is, but
yeah, and they're kind of, I think the thing that I don't understand, which I have kind of called out on TikTok, I've said, you guys are just, it's like anybody who doesn't agree with you is getting blocked, right? So whether they speak out and they say, hey, let's bring the hostages home, it's like, up, you're blocked. But if you don't say free Palestine and Gaza and ceasefire, then you're going to get blocked. Now, I think a lot of people, like, they're blocking Zendaya. Well, she
no
just
idea
sounds
who
like
even that is. Who is that?
she was in Spider-Man, the newer ones with Tom Holland. She was in Dune and Dune 2.
Oh, oh
She
yeah.
won an
Okay.
Emmy for Euphoria. She was on that show. Youngest Emmy winner in history. So they're blocking her because she hasn't spoken up, and she for two reasons. She went to the Met Gala, and she hasn't said anything about Palestine. So maybe she doesn't agree with your crazy notions. Maybe she's thinking like that's not resistance, right? You don't know, but they're kind of saying, so all these people are blocking her, but the joke's on, she just signed a $14 million contract with Revlon. She had a huge opening weekend for her Matchmakers or whatever. I think that's the name of the movie. Ryan Gosling, people are blocking him. He's never spoken about politics. Why do you want him
So
to? He's not even
just the
on.
fact that they're being quiet.
Yes.
So they're just
That's
targeting
how
celebrities and
serious.
saying you're not saying anything, we're blocking you.
Yeah, and I mean, for people like, again, like Ryan Gosling, who is like, an Oscar nominee, and he just keeps to himself. He doesn't even live in Hollywood. He doesn't speak out about anything unless he has to do an interview. Um, I don't think he cares. I'm going to be honest. I don't think a lot of them care, but it's the ones that are like the Kim Kardashians who make their money from social media and from their like shitty. Can I say that? Sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
there.
on here,
Their
but
their
I'm
products
just
that are made in China. Kim Kardashian, she gets paid by her views, she gets paid by her followers, she gets the brand deals about her following. So in that sense, they really are, and I'm all for it. I'm like, great, I don't care, but why are you forcing people who have not even said anything? They're like, well, they were at the Met Gala, they should have said something, but it seems it's crazy. It's like Beyonce, Taylor Swift,
so let me ask you this.
Ryan Gosling.
This is a brand new thing? This just happened what in the last week or in the last month?
Yeah,
I'm kind of beyond the
in the
ball here.
last, like, since the Met Gala, which I think was about a week ago.
Wow. Okay, so this guy here, let's play this video.
Okay.
There is one way for this to work, and it's that you all post the content just like I'm doing it. This creator right here just started making her own personal block lists. People are messaging me asking me to post more about this, post more about that. You guys need to all post more about it if you want this to work. Make your own personal block list with who you would block and use the shared hashtag like this. It'll get a trend moving out of this, and then everybody will start to catch on and do their own. There is one way for this to work, and it's that you all...
And this guy has gotten over 4 million views. I mean, it's
Wow.
insane because for me, it feels so. About a day or two ago, Lizzo came out and she made a video where she's like, she got blocked and lost tons of followers. I thought she had already gotten canceled because she had harassment claims against her by her dancers. But I guess she hadn't. People were still following her or whatever. And she was at the Met Gala and she's like, oh, I know it's really late, but I want to, give my support to Gaza and here's a fundraiser. And it just seemed like very much like, oh, you're taking our money away. We're going to go ahead and talk about what you want us to talk about.
Oh, like
And
okay, so she flip
yeah,
flopped.
she did. Yeah. And
So this is actually working.
it is. It's
But
working.
I see this
Kim
just being a,
Kardashian Kim Kardashian came out and she's like, I don't know why you guys are all blocking me. I'm gonna find you. I don't understand why.
I'm
And she
gonna
kind of went
find
on a
you.
rampage. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. She's like, I'm not threatening you, but I'm gonna
Find
what
you
is
and beg you to stop
happening?
blocking me. I mean, the whole thing that happened in 2020 was huge too, and with the all the child stuff, and now
Yeah,
here it is again. I think this is a craze that just won't last very long. I don't think. Maybe it will.
I don't think
Who
so. I
knows?
mean, people forget very quickly.
Very good. It's the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah, I mean,
Seriously.
what I said was in one of I talked about this before, and I said, hey, it's really funny because I remember 𝗬𝗃𝗃 came out with a very racist, racially, a sweatshirt, a sweater, and people had a lot of problems with it, and everybody was burning their 𝗬𝗃𝗃, and they were boycotting 𝗬𝗃𝗃, and then 4 months later, again with the Met Gala, 𝗬𝗃𝗃 was the sponsor of Met Gala, and all these celebrities who were boycotting 𝗬𝗃𝗃 showed up in head to toe 𝗬𝗃𝗃,
It's the same
and all of
thing
a
as
sudden everybody was like, oh, Harry Styles is wearing 𝗬𝗃𝗃. I'm gonna wear my 𝗬𝗃𝗃 shirt again.
right. It's kind of like even like with Bud Light. I mean, they were
Yes,
out for a while. Everyone boycotted them, and then guess what? UFC signs them. Boom. Now they're back. It's the same thing. This lasts for a little while. People don't stick with it. I never see any of this stuff really stick. It's just temporary. So these celebrities are gonna get all flustered, pissed off for a little while. People will forget all about this because they'll go right back to it. It's like a moth to a flame.
for sure. I mean,
Let's
they're really thinking that they're doing something here. These Gen Z TikTokers, they think this is like the new Montgomery bus boycott movement, and that it's going to change the world. But what the heck does Kim Kardashian have to do with Benjamin Netanyahu's policies? She doesn't have any pull over there, so blocking her is not going to do anything.
It doesn't do a damn thing. Let's talk about
It
let's
makes no
let's pivot
sense.
to Diddy's son, King Combs, firing the first shot at 50, which I think is a
Oh.
big. I think it's. I wouldn't mess with. I mean, respect your
The kid's
elders.
got some guts there for sure.
For decades,
He
Diddy influenced
yeah,
pop
he
culture as a producer, rapper, record executive, and business mogul. Now, a federal investigation into sex trafficking allegations and a series of civil lawsuits
So this is
alleging
about, I
rape and
guess,
sexual
it's just
assault.
about his
yeah,
Diddy's
that's about the
legacy.
allegations.
You know,
But his son Christian King Combs releases 50 Cent diss track. You heard this, right?
I listened to it. Let me tell you something. All I'm gonna say is that this kid definitely gets his rapping skills from his dad, and that's not a compliment. Um, it is
So he has
so
no skills.
basically, I mean, you're going up for some reason because 50 Cent said he was going to make a documentary about this whole Diddy situation, and for some reason, King Combs and Diddy's on the track too in the background, right? He decided to go ahead and say, I'm going to put this diss track out against 50. 50 Cent is one of the pettiest celebrities in the world. This man doesn't care. He will drag you, he will drag your grandma, he will drag your dead dog. He doesn't care. That was crazy going up against 50, as someone who hasn't even had a successful album, King Combs. And in
So
the
hold on.
song, he says there's a line in the song where he's talking about the feds raiding the house. And he says, they don't know we bought the house next door. They missed a spot.
Are you serious?
He's so dumb. You're being investigated, my guy.
Wow. I would not expect anything less, honestly. On Sunday night, King Combs released a song titled Pick a Side, which references federal agents' raid of Diddy's two homes in March and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's continuous social media posts on the Bad Boy Entertainment founder's recent legal trouble. Wow. Police raid the
Yes.
crib like we selling crack, but we out here selling tracks, multi-million dollar plaques. The 60-year-old raps in one verse, and another verse referencing the Rady raps. Knock these door down like the Fetty boys running both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, because the one they missed. I can't even pronounce as how they. Geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first he comes at 50 Cent saying that,
But
that basically saying that Diddy put New York on the map, which, you know, 50 Cent grew up in Jamaica, Queens, and had one of the most successful debut, you know, it wasn't his debut album, but his debut album with Interscope was just everywhere, you know. And once he got signed by Eminem. And so now he's saying that Diddy put New York on the map. And then he's telling the feds, you guys missed a spot. Like, not only are you insulting 50, but now you're basically
you're going to insult all the feds that are working on the case, and they're going to get pissed, and they're going to go after you even harder. And then not only that, saying miss a spot. Okay, well, now we know where to go. Thank you. Right, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You can't taunt the feds. The only one I see taunting the system, and I have my reasons to believe why, is Mr. T. And you know, that's a whole nother story. But let's jump to RFK for a moment.
All right.
RFK. This is kind of crazy because now he's suing Meta. I mean, this is for election. You know what? Here it says, right. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and American Values 2024. A political action committee supporting Kennedy's candidacy today filed a First Amendment and interference suit against Meta after a biographical film, Who is Body Kennedy, was censored on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, they're starting the same thing up again they did in 2016.
Yeah, they blocked it. So basically, they released the film, and they it's just basically like, who is this candidate? Where, you know, everybody knows who he is and where he came from and his family, but it's kind of like, who is he? What has he done? His environmental, you know, he's an environmental lawyer, kind of just outlining that kind of stuff. And Meta took it down and then also made it impossible. They blocked anybody trying to share a link to the film on Instagram or on Facebook. They would not allow people to upload even a link to the film or a clip. They would take it down right away. So he's saying, hey, you know, every candidate, if you're going to have a public square and you're giving these candidates access to that public square, why can't another candidate who's not too far behind in the polls, why are you blocking this one?
You know, I have my thoughts on Kennedy. I had his one of his campaign advisors on, and I was just like, what's with the VP pick, man? That I just can't seem to get over that, you know, for me. But she was very nice. She was on board. She was on board with Trump for a long time, but she switched to Kennedy. She still admires, and I think she still backs Trump to a degree. But for me, the VP pick says it all. But I would still like to see a debate with all three. I think all three deserve to be up on stage. Biden, Kennedy, and Trump debating. But we know we're not going to see that. I don't even see it happening with Biden and Trump. I think something's going to happen beforehand. It's going to put that off. I think they're scheduled for, if I could be right, my audience might want to fact check this and put it in the comments. I'm not sure, but I heard June 27th, July something. I don't know. Put it in the comments and let me know when that is, because I think it's coming. But I bet you something happens beforehand to stop all of this stuff. Just a hunch, folks. But I think Kennedy definitely deserves a shot. I just don't understand why he's still. What's he really want to prove here? I mean, okay, there's a third choice, but you got to know you're not going to win. Do you really think you're going to win? Or are you just going to take votes away from a certain candidate? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, historically speaking, you know, third-party candidates have just taken votes away from the other main two candidates. But I think we're at a point. I mean, Ross Perot did very well, though, for a third-party candidate.
Yeah,
he really did. So Kennedy is inching up in the polls, and I think what's happening is that he sees how the left is turning on Joe Biden, because the left has gone like so far left that they are ignoring Israel, one of our biggest allies, and they're calling him, you know, they're saying that they don't like Biden's policies on Israel,
on everything.
But they also don't like that Trump is like the most pro-Israel president that we've ever had. And so they're kind of saying, well, we don't want to vote for either one of these guys. What's our next best choice? We're not voting for Biden. And And so I think Kennedy's kind of looking at his ankle there, saying, hey, maybe I can get in here. And also, you know, Joe Biden, I don't think he's fit to run. He's old. He keeps reading the cues on the teleprompters. He forgets what he's saying. He says he's gonna debate Trump. That's gonna be interesting. And at this point, they might throw Trump in jail. And so who are we left with? You know,
I think this is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting next few months, to be honest with you. I got a feeling that the debate will not happen. I think something will arise that'll set that off. And I think we could even see Biden around convention maybe make a move to step down. I don't know. This is going to be really interesting. This is the year we've all been waiting for. And I'm all for the blockout of celebrities. I'm for that. I can get behind that movement. The P. Diddy stuff, I think, is just, it almost seems like a distraction to me. It's all bread and circus in the first place. But the RFK thing, I'm not an RFK guy, but I respect his decision to run. I respect the man. And let's see where this goes. 𝗪𝗻, where do people find you?
You can go to the Epic Times and search my name, 𝗪𝗻. You can go to my Instagram and Twitter is @𝗪𝗻.
Perfect, man. Okay, so we'll do another one down, another one down. We knocked another one down. Cool. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna be doing more of these, and these are fun. These kind of get my mind off all the crazy stuff. And I mean, it's still related, right? It's still related, but this stuff, at least, it's something else to talk about, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice, and just talking about your, you know, typical election and congressional hearings. It's kind of fun to talk about entertainment stuff that, you know, some of it affects us and some of it doesn't. Some of it is just a distraction.
It's all part of the circus, man, and I'm paying close attention to all of it. All right, folks, later.